Mode.
Good evening everyone and welcome to session recap of 28 April 2014. Today we are gonna see some good setups on Euro Dollar Cable, Aussie Dragon, which is Pound Yen, and Dollar CAD or CAD. So let's see what we can gain from this session recap. Last session recap was also very good. I will show you the results. But prior to the results, let's see a standard disclaimer. Online educational materials are developed by Admiral Markets AS Estonia for a global audience. Therefore, please take into consideration that information in this session may not be suitable for everyone. To get a corresponding information on charting, conditions, and any other detail, please visit www.admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity. Risk disclosure statement. Citing all possible risks associated with Forex market, and by accepting risk disclaimer, you're also proceeding further with me. Admiral Markets UK Ltd takes no responsibility for the information accuracy. The analysis represents the personal opinion of the author, me in this case, and in no way it represents the actual suggestion for the trade. These are not AM UK's opinions, and the website in the video is not the .co.uk website, but the globaluse.com website. Forex is risky business. This should not be taken as advice. It's a personal opinion only, and this webinar is for informational and educational purposes. So, summary of the last recap. We had great trades on Euro, on Cable, on Aussie, GBP, New Zealand unfortunately was a loss, but Dollar CAD was also a great trade with almost no drawdown. So, I thought to put Aussie as the trade of the week, but I just put a CAD, Dollar CAD, because Dollar CAD didn't have a single, it almost had no drawdown. Maybe it was 1 or 2 pips in a drawdown, but Aussie first had some drawdown, 10 pips to stop loss, and then it fell heavily. So basically we can say that Dollar CAD was the trade of the week, but also Aussie dollar was pretty much contender for the trade of the week. Let's see what happened basically that last week. We had nice setups on Euro. Basically this was Euro dollar setup, and alternative scenario, if 37.85 doesn't get broken, bullish wedge can reject the price towards 38.50, and basically that happened. This was the setup on Euro Dollar. Alternative setup, we waited for sell didn't happen. We waited for buy didn't happen at this area, but the alternative scenario 2 was 37.85 doesn't get broken, bullish wedge can reject the price towards 38.50. That happened. This is a bullish wedge. You know what bullish wedge is. It looks like a bullish wedge, looks like some sort of a triangle, but actually it's a wedge. A wedge, it's an English word for, I know the translation in my language, but wedge, this is a wedge. And you see how it's perfect wedge, it's bullish wedge. And unfortunately, this was the low, 37.85. I wanted to sell below 37.80, 70 as setup said, basically 37.80. It was good. Maybe I would wait 10 more pips, but I would wait first to see 37.80. Unfortunately or fortunately, it didn't happen. But still, that 37.85 wedge, as I was citing that in my PPT, it can reject the price, and it did reject the price towards 38.50. Look at this. This was almost to the pip, 38.54, 38.54.5. It's 38.54.5, whatever. Basically, this rejection propelled the price up 70 pips. So for any of you who were patient enough to wait, maybe to buy, this was the buying region, and this was basically the touch of that region here. It was target price, TP. So nice trade from Cable. Then GBP dollar, it was position buy, and this was alternative scenario. And on cable, we had basically alternative scenario. And you see, this was the time of our webinar, and I was trying to get into 68.20 stop, 68.20 short with 25 pip trailing stop. I also updated the trade by Twitter, via Twitter. If you're following me on Twitter, you know that I have updated the next day saying, okay, if you want to trade it, no problems, it's valid, but treat the trade as a scalp, because you see, this was basically where the price, the entry price, and then we had a bit of drawdown, but it didn't make 25 pip of a stop loss. So when I say 25 pip trailing stop, it means you should put 25 pip stop loss and then trail the stop. Basically, you can trail the stop after 10, 50, 25 pips. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I usually trail, if it's a swing scalp trade, I trail after 10 or 12 pips of a profit. So basically, this was the time of the sell. It didn't hit the stop loss, and first it got 10 pips, and then it dropped heavily. But because I said here in this PPT, it's a scalp trade, and I also told you it's a scalp trade on our webinar, I need to be honest with you. I only write it down, I only written it down as basically 15 pips of a profit. I marked it as 15 pips of a profit, although this trade was a much better trade. But let's say only 15 pips of a profit. Let's be fair. You know, if you scalp the trade, and I updated it via Twitter, say that you basically got some 10, 15, 20 pips, and average 15 pips of a profit. Although, as you can see, the trade went 60 pips then afterwards. Then, next trade. Yeah, for all of you who don't know my Twitter, of course, it's always the same. It's Tarantula FX. It's my Twitter, so you're free, of course, to follow me. Usually I update my trades after session recaps during next day, and I make also all of those setups I also put Twitter after they're released, so you can also follow the Twitter. It's also directly connected to Admiral Markets blog and Facebook and Forex Factory, of course. Now let's see cable. Cable was, yeah, it was very good. Now I can see that cable is going down. So we will see what will happen on cable. I'm not interested very much now in cable trade. I will show you why, and I don't think, to be honest, that it should be traded, because tomorrow there is big news for cable. But I will show you that later. Aussie position sell 93.55. 93.55 position sell. Let's see where basically the entry was. Our webinar was at, let's say, this was the time of our webinar a little bit earlier, and 93, what we said for Aussie, we said 93.55, 30 pip stop loss, 93.55.50 for 30 pip stop loss. Let me see. Let's see. So basically, where the price hit this level or this level, actually we wanted to sell it. Now, a stop loss was 30 pips. It went almost to the stop loss. The height was 93.78. You can see it at the lower part of my screen. 93.78. So that trade, basically, was very successful, although it almost hit stop loss. The entry was somewhere around here, but later you can see what happened. It went more than 120 pips of a drop, but actually it hit our target 93.00. So actually it was sell set up 60 pips or 85 pips, it depends whether you close it or not. Even more, it went 120 pips, but let's say 65 to 85 pips. The only loss was from GBP New Zealand. GBP New Zealand, unfortunately, it was a loss. I was trying to get into a sell, and basically the sell was good, but I think it was buy trade. Let me check. I know that I had a loss on GBP New Zealand. sell trade. This was sell trade. I had a buy trade initiated, and that was a loss. Yeah, this was the buy trade. Yeah, I remember this one. This was a loss. Buy trade. Actually, unfortunately, this was a loss. This was actually breakout pullback in the form of continuation if you zoom in into lower time frames. But unfortunately, this was the only loss for this session recaps. Well, it happens. But as long as we keep money management under control, it's good. Actually, this was the loss, and this sell was quite good, but first it was initiated by breakout pullback continuation, which was a loss. Although this was a good sell, this was indeed good sell. Afterwards, 95.70. I didn't count that as a profitable trade because this trade was initiated first, so I counted this as a loss. As you can see, wait, let me show you. I counted this as a loss, so it was minus 30 to minus 40. And dollar CAD, I need to say this was the trade of the week. It was a buy trade, as you remember. Dollar CAD was buy trade around 100 tonight, targeting. This was typo normally because it was a buy trade, and you can see dollar CAD this was the buy trade. This was our webinar, and the buy trade was initiated to the pip. Look at this, not a single pip of a drawdown. And then it hit the target. Basically, height was 52. I counted it as 45 pips because I updated it also via Twitter. I said it's time to close, and also this was a very good trade for dollar CAD. So because it didn't have any drawdown, look at this. It touched the level and it went up. This is the trade of the week. Okay, now, what next? Next. Yeah, some of setups, GBP New Zealand was basically, that setup reversed. Although this was a bad setup. After that, our other setup, alternative setup, was a good one because I was trying to make a sell here, and actually it was a good sell. But you know, I need to count that as a loss because this was a loss because it was initiated first. All of those trades were winners. This is a great winner. This is also a good scalping trade, although it went far. Euro dollar rejected. Dollar CAD, excellent trade. So basically only the GBP New Zealand was a loss. So you can see all here in this charts. Everything is shown, everything is clear. No hidden trades, no hidden setups, no fakes, no false. Everything has been done after the analysis. I never make any analysis telling you, okay, I make some pips. Who cares how many pips I made? The best thing is if the analysis is all right, then you will also make pips. You will gain something from it. It doesn't matter if I made pips. And many of those analysts say, okay, I made some pips, I traded this. Who cares how you traded? The thing is, if you are happy with your trade, it's okay. Keep it for you. My job is actually to show you all of these setups after I made an analysis. So I always make analysis pre-fact. As you know from today's analysis, this was also pre-fact analysis. Euro dollar, I'm already in the trade. I had 30 people for stop also. Maybe it will be a loss. I don't know. But this is pre-fact analysis. Pre-fact analysis. 38, 45, 40 was a potential trade. But who knows, maybe it will be a loss. But the thing is, while I was writing the analysis, the price was basically much higher. The price was around 38.60 or something like that. We can see that also a bigger chart on Forex Factory. I will show you that, and I will tell you exactly what I mean. This basically was my entry, And you see where the price was while I was making the analysis, 38.62. Now it's something around 38.45, 6, something around that. So basically we will see. It's also set up for me, but the same is what I have prepared for you today. Today, I can see this is the market plan. Euro dollar, again, I see buy. Maybe it won't be actually, but I see here buy 38, 35 to 40, targeting 39, 39, 20. My stops are very low. Those are something around 38, 20, 38, 15 to 20. So basically, we will see. Today is Monday. Monday can be really, I don't particularly like Mondays. But if those setups happen, well, I need to take it. You know, you sometimes when you see a nice pullback in uptrend, you actually want to trade it. The only sell I'm interested in is below 37.80 at the moment. Only below 37.80 at the moment. Same, if we get the sell below this level, then I presume it will go down. At the moment, I see buy on euro. 38, 35 to 40, targeting 39.00, 39.20. We will see. All, of course, use your trailing stop, guys. If it makes it to 38, 55, 60, use your trailing stop. Secure your profits because, you know, prices actually tend to go 20, 30 pips in profit then reverse. So actually get something out of the pip pool, okay? But actually, if the trend is respected, we should see 39, if trend is respected. That is for euro. Now for cable, I actually don't like the movement of cable at the moment. Why I don't like it? Because today cable had a great movement. Look at this price action. This was a great movement. This is a big movement. Actually, the cable went through this level also. Look at this level. It's an inner trend line now. But look at this. It's basically now it again started to drop. This is stupid if you ask me. This I don't like this. Although cable is indeed in an uptrend. This is uptrend. You can make a trend line here, and this is actually a trend line which is valid now. 1 touches, 2 touches of a trend line. You can see it's a valid trend line now. But this is bad movement. Look at this. This was a jump of 80 pips and then it dropped too much for my taste, 55 pips. Now, why that? Someone will ask me, why is that happening? Why it doesn't make a nice zigzag movement? This is okay, zigzag, it slowly greens to the downside. This is nice zigzag to the upside. This is how perfect trend is. This is nice. Okay, pull back, trust, pull back, trust. This is not nice. I don't like it, and that is because of this. That is because of this. Look at this, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday, right? This is very important pound news tomorrow. For if you ask me for my stop for euro dollar buy, I keep it something around 38.20, 38.18 basically. So we will see. This is my stop loss for euro dollar. It's a small stop actually, but you know, I trade intraday. GBP. This is GBP. This is big news for tomorrow. This is preliminary GDP. Now, if you open this, it will tell you there are 3 versions of GDP release a month apart. Preliminary. This is preliminary. Prelim. It's preliminary. Second estimate and final. Now, read this. The preliminary release is the earliest and thus tends to have the most impact. What is that? It's a gross domestic product, GDP. Now, I can only explain the movement of cable as waiting for the news. This is bad movement. 80 pips without a retrace and then suddenly 60 pip drop. This is not trend. Actually, if it was a clear trend, clear trend, this should be a level where the pound should be bought at and then proceed further. But because we have such a big news tomorrow, you will see, I think that the movement will be big after the news tomorrow. I'm advising you to stay out of the trade for GBP. I don't know what can happen because, you know, if results are very bad, it can drop, really, it can drop badly. But from general standpoint, generally, if GBP drops to 67.20, 25 pip stop with maybe a lower leverage, use lower leverage. It's a small risk to it's a good risk to reward, because if it wants to jump, it will go to 68.20 to retest it. So actually, I would wait for a drop to 67.20, then maybe buy it. But it won't happen after tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, if there is bad news for cable, then you need to trade it basically as a counter trend trade. You need to wait for a dip and then buy it. But if the news is good for cable tomorrow, then it might jump up again, hitting 69. Really. If the news is good, maybe and it can hit 69. So generally, I'm not sure about cable trade. And although I traded some cable trade today, this buy trend, actually at the moment I don't like the price. This is nonsense. These big candles to the upside, then look at this candle broke this high, and then it was a big drop. Why such a big drop? So the only explanation for me is market wants to see what results will be after the tomorrow's preliminary gross domestic product. So my advice is stay out of the trade. Or if you want to trade cable, at least wait for a drop to 67.20, then try to trade it with small stop, 25 pips. Of course, once you are 20 pips in profit, try to use your trailing stop. Aussie still ranging, but we have again downtrend on Aussie. Look at this big downtrend, big downtrend. Now for trend trades, what should we do if we want to make a trend trade? Of course, we want to see a pullback. Sell position around 39.00, 39.10 with a 30 pip stop targeting 92.50 maybe could be achieved. Although it dropped significantly now, it's a big drop. I would wait for a pullback near these levels. We have 78.6 fib retracement. Now I need to correct it because this was taken with previous low. This is now, it's not correct. Now I need to make it again. I need to delete Fibonacci here, and let's say this is a bottom, but I'm not sure if it will be a bottom. But let's see for the sake of this analysis. Maybe if it makes a new low, then guys we need to make again another Fibo. Look at this. This is what actually is giving me some potential trades. This is a trend line. This is 38.2 retracement of a trend line. And this is 50% of this big drop, which is happening now at the moment. And this candle started to form on 23rd of April. It's 5 days old. It's intra-week Fibonacci, okay? This is how I make it. This is intra-week Fibonacci. So I would sell it up. I don't want to sell it now. I will sell it up if it happens to touch it. I would like to see it up and then sell. So for trend trades, you want to sell as higher as you can. From this analysis, because I use Camarilla MACD, and these charts, of course, for copyright purposes, uses only blank charts. But all my analysis I make on Camarilla MACD. This is also confluence point. So if this is 50% of retrace of the last week swing, and we have a trend line. Now the logic is wait for the trend line test again to sell it. So first thing is to try to sell it here. If something happens, I will update it. I will update the trade. But for buy setup, I can only see it here. Why? You can see it here. I think that the 92.05 can be a good buy setup. Actually, I'm thinking about making a pending order there. Look at this. This is this was previous buyers. We had buyers there in this region. We have M pattern, which failed. These are all, again, buyers. So historical buyers and big history of buying there. Now, if it makes it to this level, I would be looking to buy actually. So 92.10 to 00, buy scalp 15 pip trailing stop. Of course, this can be also a nice scalp 15-20 pip trade at the first touch. So actually, I'm thinking about making pending order. GBPN. GBPN for me is also interesting pair. GBPN, I would like to see it at 00 level. 00 level for me can be a potential buy trade. 172.00. This is also good, 07. But actually, I would like to see it a little bit lower. So maybe 79.10 to 00 here. But I'm more inclined to see it a little bit lower. Stop loss should be 30 pips. So actually, if it happens, well, look at this, 38.2. We also have a trend line down there, so actually it can drop to 72.00 here. And this level was broken, strongly broken to the upside. So actually we can see a GBPN buy. But if it happens on early Asia, well, I will look for it and use trailing stop. Maybe it can happen in Asia session. 172.10 to 00, but I'm more inclined around this level. Or if it doesn't make it to this level, it can be sold around 173.10. I would look for a sell around 173.10. Why? Well, look at this, how it's perfect history of selling, and it was actually a month old. This month, it was basically this month's high. Look at this month's high. So again, I think that this level can be good for selling shorts. History, look at this on daily chart, guys. Look this accumulation here. This looks like a wedge, bearish wedge. I will make it again. This is bearish wedge. So actually this looks good for sell around this region. At the top of the wedge. This looks good, really. So whatever it happens, we have a potential nice setups. So buy there or sell there, whichever hits first. Okay? And dollar CAD was a good currency to trade. 0015, stop loss 30 pips. Actually, it's trying to make it down. Again, at this level, triple top, triple bottom. So it could be bought, I think, from this region again. Targeting 50 level. Okay, guys, so those are our setups for today, tomorrow, and possibly day after tomorrow. If something happens, of course, I will update Spider's Den thread, Admiral Markets blog, and also I will use Twitter for telling you to read it. So you should read Forex Factory. Also, I have a worldwide investment trend called Spider's Den on forum worldwide investment. But I post the same thing from Forex Factory to worldwide investment. Also, pay attention to Admiral Markets blog. And if I make update for a Twitter, go and read it on those blogs. Now, questions. What about New Zealand dollar? What about New Zealand dollar? And what about what? New Zealand dollar, I will tell you what about New Zealand dollar. Dollar yen. I didn't analyze dollar yen at the moment. Now I will show you why. You always need to pay attention for the calendar, guys. today is a bank holiday on Japan. Why would I analyze dollar yen when yen is on holiday? It's better to analyze GBP yen because GBP has news tomorrow, okay? Big news, 10:30. Dollar yen is susceptible to yen movements, more or less. So basically I didn't make it just because of this. And for New Zealand, what about New Zealand? Guys, New Zealand, look at this, 12.45 trade balance. Market is waiting for the news. Something will happen, but I don't want to gamble. This is very strong news coming in 6 hours. In these hours, there is a little bit of trading. There is not much trading now. So actually, why would we trade New Zealand, you know, when we have a trade balance later? So that is why I don't want to make analysis on New Zealand and yen, particularly dollar yen. But if tomorrow happens to, those pairs happen to give me some nice trades, of course I will update my analysis. And of course you should pay attention to it. Dollar impacting the currencies down for the week. We will see. I don't just look at the dollar. I also look at technical analysis which I make. So let's see. Cable now is the problem, because cable is the great problem. It waits for the news. Same as New Zealand. It waits for the news. It is waiting for the news. But the euro dollar now, it seems like an uptrend. So that is why I made my entry around 40.42. Actually, I'm still long on euro dollar, so we will see what will happen. That is why I don't like cable. Look at this. Euro dollar is going now to the upside and cable is falling down. That is bad thing with cable. It will move like this and this while waiting for the news to happen. And you will see after this news what will happen. This will move GBP tomorrow. So it's better to stay out of GBP. GBP dollar is critical. GBP yen, this setup may happen maybe today. So that is why I did that. I'm paying attention to GBP yen. It may happen today. And it can make some impact on Asia session. Chances of sanction on Russia by US impacting the currencies. Yeah, dollar may strengthen a bit, but we will see. There were some talks about sanctions for Russia, but it still didn't make any big impact on euro dollar. So basically, I'm still paying attention to technical analysis, not so much on fundamental analysis. That is why we have stop losses. If some fundament happens to be very big, very huge, that is why we need to make stop loss to basically stop our losses. Okay? So if you don't have any questions, we can conclude the webinar. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. And don't forget about our webinars. Don't forget about our webinars. Our webinars will come soon again. You have with Chris Live Trading Lab and Expert Advisors Part 1. I will give you, be sure to sign in for this Expert Advisors webinar, because I will give you at this webinar, I will give you and I will explain you trailing stop Expert Advisor. So be sure to, of course, to sign in for this webinar. Can you please go through dollar CAD for me to take screenshots? Yes, of course. This is dollar CAD. Dollar CAD 1.1015, 1.1050, potentially buy trade from this region here. It's close to entry, we will see, but this can be a buy trade. Why? Because of this also. Okay? This is what I see. Technically speaking, buy. Not a big stop, only 30 pips. Okay? This and this. Thank you, got the charts and slides. Thank you for asking the question, no problem. I'm here to help you, of course. So introduction to expert advisors, 30th of April. Be sure to attend the session and you will be given a free training stop expert advisor. Then of course we will have again a nice webinar, entries and scalings, how you can make scalings. Then you will have a webinar with Chris, oscillator trading. So actually there is a 1st of the May. It's a national holiday, right? So basically next webinar again will be on the 5th of May. So basically Thursday is 1st of May, Friday is 2nd of May, actually 5th of May is Monday. That is good thing. So guys, that was all from me for today. Pay attention to now euro dollar is 10 pips in a profit, and you see now why I don't like the cable. Euro dollar is going up and this cable is going down. It's waiting for the news, and that is why I'm telling you, don't make an entry for cable now. Sometimes not having a position is equal to a profitable position. Okay guys, if this is everything you wanted to ask me, that's good, because everything is clear now and we can conclude the webinar. So I will talk to you very soon with expert advisor webinars, and be sure of course to sign up for the webinar. Thank you guys and talk to you soon. Cheers.